This is an R Media podcast.
You said you have been renovating. Have you committed any design crimes in your own place?
Oh, yes, we have. We painted our washroom and we thought, you know what, this would be beautiful as a really soft butter yellow. We were painting at night and we thought, well, this looks quite bright. It's probably brighter than we thought. And then we did another coat. We woke up in the morning and yeah, it was definitely not a butter yellow. It was more of a Mexican restaurant toilet yellow. And we walk in there in the morning and think, oh no, what have we done?
Today on The Edit, we're at home with one of my dearest friends, Karlie Verkerk. There's something so revealing about where people gather in a home. For Karlie, it might be the outdoor kitchen where something is always cooking and everyone ends up standing around watching. But there's also the art collection that has slowly taken over the walls, the food memories her kids will carry with them, the scent and ritual behind Finn, and the story of what came home with her after big moves, big career shifts, and a life spent thinking deeply about food, beauty, and family. Karlie Verkerk, welcome to The Edit.
Thank you, Elle Lovelock. It's a pleasure to be here.
We have known each other for a very, very long time and we've worked together and we're just the best of friends. Well, that's how I feel. I hope you feel the same.
The feeling is mutual, trust me. Yeah, we are the best of friends.
I can't remember if I've told you about my sourdough journey.
You have briefly, but tell me more, please. I would love to know.
So the starter initially was a non-starter, but now it's worked and I'm baking loaves every week and I think of you and I think, can Karlie do this?
The answer is no, I cannot do this. Short answer. But believe it or not, I'm so glad to hear that it's working out for you because I know how hard it is to actually keep a starter alive, A, and B, make sourdough bread that tastes good enough to just justify not buying it anymore because usually people make sourdough and go, oh, what have I done? I've spent all this time and money and I could just buy it down the road, you know.
I know.
No, I can't do this. And actually, it was just my birthday last week and James, my husband, bought me a sourdough making class. So I'll be joining you on the sourdough journey very soon. So I'll have to get your tips and tricks.
Once the tables have turned, because you are the ultimate foodie.
I definitely am. But yes, I haven't gone down that sourdough track yet. But yes, I am. I just have loved food my entire life. I've loved cooking. I've loved experimenting. I love cooking for friends.
The first time I realized how into food you were, it was quite a shock.
Really?
When you, I've always known, yes, you're a good baker and you'd bring in treats to the office and that was all nice. But one day you shared with me and some friends, I've got something to tell you. And we're
my gosh,
God,
yes.
What's happening? Is she okay? And you said you're going on MasterChef.
That's so true. And actually one of our mutual friends thought that I had unfriended him because I hadn't written back to his message for, 6 months? And he thought, oh my God, we're not friends anymore. What's going on? Why hasn't she written back to me? He invited me to his birthday party and all these things. And after 6 months, I got my phone back. And the backstory is I went on MasterChef. And when you're on the show, you have to give up your phone, your computer, everything. And it can take up to 7 months to film. And I remember turning my phone on, I had all these messages from people and they were like, where are you? What are you doing? I haven't spoken to you. Are you okay? And yes, so it was a shock to a lot of people, I think. And I kept it under wraps for a long time. But yes, that's it's all out in the open now.
You have moved a lot in recent years. So you started in the inner city and then you moved sort of to the country and then you moved to another country. And then you came back to Australia, but you moved to the coast.
I can't believe you've kept up with all the moves. That's too many.
I'm watching you.
Yes. Yeah.
And though I know all of that, we've never really discussed why.
Do you know what? I have moved a lot in my life, even from being young to being a teenager. I moved around a lot. My parents love to renovate homes. So we would always be moving to different homes because they would renovate and sell. So I think we did that about 5 or 6 times. So I'm not a stranger to moving house. So I've always loved moving around. I love new, fresh beginnings. I love trying out new areas. So when I was about in my early 20s, I decided to move from, the area I grew up in, sort of the Northern Beaches, to move over to the city. I got a new job, which is where we met each other.
Yeah.
And I lived the city life, city life Paddington and being in Surrey Hills. And I absolutely loved that because also I was exposed to more food and more people and new things. And I love that so much. And then I met my now husband on a work trip, and we were planning to have a child, and we lived in a terrace house, and you know what it's like living in a terrace house with children.
Oh, I remember the stairs.
Yeah, the stairs. And we had an English bulldog as well. So he like a big potato, and he really found it hard getting up and down steep stairs. So we thought, you know what, let's just give up our inner city life and move somewhere with a bit more space. And we chose to move to Blaxland in the Blue Mountains. Not either of us really had any connection to the Blue Mountains. We just found a house and we loved it. It looked out to the park, sort of like the national park. And it was just beautiful. And we thought, let's just give this a go. And it meant that we could have space for a pizza oven. And we had a compost bin for the first time. We just loved it so much.
Life goals.
I know, life goals. We had worms and all the amazing things. But we were renting at the time. And of course, we were like, we would love to have something like this that was our own. So the next step after that was to move overseas with my husband's work, and ended up being Singapore, which is also a new culture and a new way of life. And we took our young kids there. I think our daughter was only 3 months old when we moved there, and our son was 1 and a bit.
I remember.
It was quite a big move. And I remember family saying to us, are you sure you want to be doing this with such young kids? And the move over there meant that we could, in 2 years, save enough money to move back to Australia, which was always our goal, and to buy our first home together. So that's where we are now. We're in the Northern Rivers of New South Wales, which is right up the top end, as you sort of 20 minutes from the Queensland border. And we love it here. It's just so beautiful.
So let's get into the home tour. So we do house tours at Home Beautiful, and I would like you to take us on a sensory tour of your home. So I'm coming to stay for the weekend. What's the first thing we see when we get to your place?
Well, the first thing you will see now is a beautiful big fence.
How welcoming.
I know. It's like a fortress now, which we're loving because obviously dog, A, and B, young children. So basically when we bought our home, it's a early 90s suburban salmon brick home. Not salmon brick anymore because we've painted it since we've moved in, but single level, very, humble home, but it didn't have a fence. So when we moved in, we really struggled we love having the doors open and the windows open and let the kids go outside in the mornings, which we didn't get to do a lot of in Singapore because, we were in such a small place. So Step 1, put a fence in. And we did that and we love it. It's an aluminium batten fence, which has a beautiful sliding gate that we use daily and I love. It was quite expensive, but it was worth it. But once you get past the fence, we're now walking through to our front door, and at our front door we have a beautiful kaffir lime tree. Well, I should say makrat lime tree, which is a Thai-style Southeast Asian lime.
Oh, does it taste different?
I don't know how to describe it, but it's more fragrant than a regular lime. And then you walk into our home and look, in our home, there's a lot of natural materials and easy wash materials because, as I keep saying, we have young kids. So we've just recently put in sisal carpet in all of the bedrooms. And we have lots of jute and seagrass and linen.
So it's really beachy because how close to the beach are you?
Well, if you drive, possibly 1 minute, and if you walk, about 15 minutes. But so I would say it's quite beachy without trying to be beachy, more neutral tones and, as I said, easy materials that can be pulled off and washed and wiped down and, lots of the jute and the sea grass can be wiped and you don't see a lot of the stains and things like that.
And I know you've recently overhauled your outdoor, do you call it an outdoor kitchen?
Yeah, we've got a new outdoor kitchen, which is so exciting.
Yeah. Tell us about that. How did you build it?
We both, my husband and I, really wanted to lean into the outdoor cooking. And so what we ended up doing was there was this awkward sort of deck next to our pool that was rotting and horrible. So we decided to take that out completely and reclaim that part of the land. And we've turned that into a beautiful brick paved sort of a brick area with a outdoor kitchen. And look, it's funny because I have posted a bit about it online since we've put it in, and it's definitely a work in progress. It's not entirely finished yet. I still need to put some doors in and some storage and things like that. But we have built the kitchen base with recycled bricks.
Yeah.
And we had a builder doing some work at our house, and he actually said, you know what, I can build that easily. And he did it in almost less than 2 days, the base and the whole brick area.
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was a reclaimed stone bench top as well that we had cut to size.
How do you find the materials? How do you know where to go?
So do you know what? We use Facebook Marketplace so much, and it's just the best source to find secondhand goods. As you know, I know you love Facebook Marketplace. It's so good. I'm on there most nights. It's just so great to give these things a second home as well and not to buy brand new every single time.
So what did you put in yours?
So it really is just a basic kitchen benchtop with a pizza oven on one side, which is gas or wood fired. And then on the other side, we have a wood fired grill. So it's like a Paria grill. Huh. It's almost quite, I don't know, medieval, but you put your beautiful wood in there and you create these charcoal embers, and then you can cook over fire, and it has this sort of, you can wind the grill up and down, and it's really impressive for people who have never seen it before, and they come over and you're cooking them a steak on this grill. They're like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? It's like a show. So it's quite impressive.
And is that why you wanted the outdoor kitchen? Is it the cooking method that did it, or do you just cook stinky food?
Oh, look, a bit of both. Yeah, I think keeping stinky food outside is great. And also oily food is great to keep it out of your kitchen. But also the cooking method, because you can't achieve these flavors, these beautiful wood-kissed flavors in your kitchen. You just can't.
I'm always so fascinated to see where people naturally gather in a home. Sometimes it's around the kitchen bench, sometimes it's the back step, sometimes it's outside standing around while something's cooking, pretending not to hover. For Karlie, food and home are completely tangled together, which is why her outdoor kitchen says so much more than just good entertaining area. What do the kids think of living there now? Because they went from an apartment in quite a built-up city to basically free range.
Exactly. It's like chalk and cheese. I think having them so young as well, seeing them grow up in a very busy city. We were in a very small apartment with no outdoor area, only a very tiny balcony. And you know what? Our dog did not like that very much at all. I think he actually came home quite depressed. So look, now that the kids are here, it's as I said, it's like black and white. When we first moved here, we would take them down to the beach, and they wouldn't want to take their shoes off. And the feeling of sand and the feeling of grass on their feet was like, they were sort of freaked out. And so slowly over time, they've gotten used to not wearing shoes. And now actually we went to the beach the other day and they weren't wearing shoes and they're walking on pebbles, and there wasn't an issue. And I'm like, wow, you two have changed a lot. So yeah, they're loving it.
Proper Aussie kids now.
Exactly. Yeah.
I remember I asked you recently, so what do you and James do all day? Because I know you both work from home, but what does that look like?
Usually I'm in my pajamas, so you're actually quite lucky that I got out of my pajamas today,
Well,
although I do have my Ugg boots on still. The most exciting thing lately is we've just launched a new business.
I know. Let's talk about it.
Something I prepared earlier. It's right here.
I was wondering, I didn't have one with me, so I thought, I wonder if we're going to do a show and tell, but you go right ahead.
I know you have one at home. I know you've been using it. You've said you've loved it, so I'm so pleased to hear that.
Describe it for our listeners. What is it?
This here is our new product. It is called Finn. It's the world's first food fragrance. It's spraying beautiful flavors onto finished meals instead of using fresh herbs, because I rarely have a bunch of fresh herbs ready to go when I need it. So I thought, why doesn't something exist where you can spray a flavor like that onto your food like you do a perfume?
It is incredible. I bought a bottle from you and it arrived promptly. I just want to say, real friends don't ask for discounts.
No, you didn't ask for a discount.
Didn't ask
Thank
for a
you.
discount.
And thank you for supporting me.
But I was genuinely impressed that you can taste the flavors so clearly. It doesn't taste synthetic. It doesn't taste stale. It tastes really fresh. And I've been spraying it on everything from soup to bruschetta to, I'm really looking forward to trying it on fish. What's in it?
The main ingredients in it are essential oils. So they're culinary essential oils. They're basil. This one that you have, Elle, is the first release I did. So it's basil, oregano, and lemon. It also has a secret ingredient, which I will tell you. It's celery seed, which is very exciting.
Oh, I love a scoop.
Yeah, it gives it a really beautiful nutty-based sort of flavor. When it comes to a finishing product that you spray onto a dish that's done, then this is what you're looking for.
And so you've launched this with your husband, James. Is he very involved in the creation process, or is he more of the, supporting entrepreneurial spirit? Because he is an entrepreneur.
He really is. And honestly, this wouldn't have come to life without him. I bounced it off him to begin with, walking on the beach one morning, and I said, do you know, this is a really strange idea. And when I told him, he sort of went, that's brilliant. Why doesn't that exist?
I want to backtrack a little bit, but still along the topic of James. When you two got together, I remember he had quite the art collection.
He did.
I'm curious to know a bit more about that, how he collects. Have you joined the collection journey? And did you take it all to Singapore? What did you do with it?
That's a really good question. And yes, he did have an amazing art collection, honestly. Stunning paintings and pieces by Australian artists he had been collecting over many, many years. And we still have the collection today, and it's now our collection because I've added to the collection over the years. And the nicest thing about it is that every time I look at a piece of art on the wall, it reminds me of a time in our relationship or a special occasion, because we often buy art for each other for birthdays or, as I said, special occasions that mark a special time in our lives. So it's really lovely. It's a nice way to decorate, and it's a nice way to have, something that you share together. But no, we definitely did not take them all to Singapore with us. We took a handful of pieces. It was really hard to choose which pieces we were going to take.
I love that you took art, because from memory, you didn't really take any furniture, did you?
We took absolutely nothing. We took a few suitcases and some art. So, it really shows how much art means to us and how much art means to James. Yeah. I know we'll get there with the mystery drawer item, but is it too soon?
No, let's do the mystery drawer now.
Okay, great, because it really links in with art and food. So I feel like this is the perfect time.
And so for anyone listening who hasn't come across our mystery drawer before, this is when our lovely guests bring or share or show a piece from their home. And it could be a story. I can't wait to find out what it is. It's a mystery from the drawer.
It's a mystery, and it doesn't live in a drawer, but it lives on a wall. This is a piece that we just picked up last weekend. This is our most recent artwork, and it's a lino cut by a local artist. His name is Peter Blundell. And James saw it straight away and he thought, oh my gosh, it's a sardine lino cut. And the man at the shop told us that it was the last piece in the collection because the rest of the artwork in this collection was lost in the floods. So because we get terrible floods up here. Yeah. And apparently this was the only one that survived this collection, and it's 3 out of 20. So we feel very lucky to have receive this
The
piece.
sardines.
The sardines.
And do the kids notice the art around the house?
Yes, they do. And, our son, Lang, he's a budding artist. And I know everybody thinks their child is good at this and good at that. We're all biased. But honestly, he has a very good eye. And when we were leaving Singapore, we were starting to take some art off the walls and packing it up. And actually, he came home from school one day and said, he burst into tears and said, "Where is all the art?" And so he was so upset. I know, we couldn't believe it. I thought,
I would have felt the same way.
I know.
Where is the art?
Where's the art?
And what about Ginger?
She couldn't care less. No.
And you are expanding your family.
Yes, I'm feeling very large at the moment. Our third child is due in September. So we've just launched a business baby and we're cooking a real baby at the same time. So we decided to do everything at once, really.
How do you think that's going to change your home?
Yeah, a new dynamic completely changes the dynamics, doesn't it?
Yeah.
More clutter, but more love. So can't complain about that.
And I have said that you can come down to Sydney and stay with me, but just with one child.
I absolutely love being in your home. Your guest room, honestly, nobody makes a bed like you.
Oh, well, thank you.
So I will be taking you up on that offer, don't worry.
And Karlie, that means so much to me because you have stayed at some of the most incredible hotels in the world because you were deputy editor at Gourmet Traveller and Boss Hunting.
Yes, that's right.
That opens a lot of doors.
We've stayed at some of the nicest hotels and we've eaten at some of the best restaurants and we're all for work. It's such a hard job, but no, somebody's got to do it. But obviously life isn't like that so much anymore. But although I say kids come with clutter and mess and things like that, it's beautiful. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And that's the season of life you're in. So it makes you appreciate being home. And being at home, there's no feeling like it. Once you create a home, that's your home with your art, as we've been talking about, with your things. Sort of the older we get, James and I realised we sort of just like being at our home. We don't want to be anywhere else.
Well, let's talk about your house rules. I've got some questions.
Go for it. Doona
or blanket?
Doona.
Is there a reason?
I love the fluffiness and I get quite cold when I sleep at night. So, yeah, Doona. I just love being all cozy and snug.
How about you live near the beach, shoes on or off?
Shoes off in the house. That's my rule. And that's something that we've carried over from Singapore as well. It's a very cultural thing there. You would always take your shoes off at the front door and never have shoes on inside because you have such a small space and you want it to be as clean as possible because you're coming straight off the street. So that's something that we've replicated here in our house, shoes off inside. But outside, I'm also a bit of a shoes off person. I like feeling the sand and the grass and the things. So I guess it's the shoes off outside, wash your feet before you come in, and then the shoes off inside.
Okay, that's good to know. What is something you always have fresh in your house?
Oh, always have fresh. We always have fresh food. Not fresh sourdough. Hopefully we'll have fresh sourdough soon.
Oh, very soon.
Yes.
What about scented candles? Are they always on? Only for special occasions or absolutely never?
For my scented candles, it's special occasions. I have some beautiful scented candles, but I like to keep them just for when people are coming over and to add ambience. But day to day, I've actually found a great natural room spray from my local organic shop. And I love a room spray that every time somebody walks into our house unexpected and I've sprayed a bit of this, it's a lemon myrtle natural room spray. And it smells so fresh and it's almost like you've just cleaned rather than a heavy scent. It's just, even though I do like cleaning too.
Don't worry about the cleaning. Just spritz.
Just spritz and then tidy and everyone think, well, they all think everything's clean. But no, it's a good thing to just have there and then you kind of go spray, spray, spray. But it's a fresh scent. So I would do that most days and then scented candle on special occasions.
I love that. I, as you know, have an inset doormat at the front door just as you come inside. And I love to spritz that with a room spray. So when people walk in, they trample on the doormat and it releases the scent.
That is a wonderful idea.
What's the soundtrack of your home?
Oh, we listened. Oh my gosh. We visited Copenhagen last year and we were sitting in a bar and there was a record playing and we just had to ask who it was. And they're a duo from Denmark. They're called Bremer McCoy. It's Bremer/McCoy. So I can share that with you so you can share it with everybody. But it has become the soundtrack of our lives. So when we get up in the morning and it's a bit chaotic, we put it on and it's just the most amazing album ever. And everybody's just calm instantly. And it reminds us of our trip as well, which is just so beautiful. And the nice thing is, I don't think we would ever have discovered them if we hadn't gone there and asked because, you know, there are so many wonderful bands out there that don't even get discovered. And yeah, so that's the soundtrack of our lives at the moment, of our home. That reminds me so much of our home.
We have a listener dilemma. Someone has asked a question that I think you are the perfect person to answer.
I'm all ears.
Right. Margie writes in and she says, we have a small courtyard and I'd love to make it better for entertaining. We don't have the budget or space for a full outdoor kitchen. What are the first 3 things you do to make it useful, relaxing, and beautiful?
Oh, Margie, that is a great question. And, you know, I've lived in many homes, as I was saying before, with small courtyards or small outdoor spaces, such as terrace houses. You know, we all know that they have tiny little spaces out the back. So more useful and more welcoming.
Yeah.
The first thing is if you have room to get some beautiful pots of fresh herbs or something that has a beautiful scent, as I was saying about our mackerel lime tree out the front of our house, it's a great talking point, but also they smell wonderful and they're useful.
Yeah.
And I know you don't have a lot of space, so you kind of want to make the most of the space that you do have. So I would recommend some long planters or some pot plants and put something edible, something that smells amazing. And when people are out there, they'll enjoy being in this space. Second thing is I would probably recommend putting up something like some fairy lights or some beautiful lights to make the space feel lovely in the afternoon or at night. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a bit of ambience and make the space feel cozy, almost like you're in a lovely restaurant courtyard. You know, you want to create that vibe. And along with that, you have some music and things like that. And honestly, you don't need much space to do that. And we did that in one of our terrace homes. We had a beautiful string of lights and it just added a bit of ambience and it was just nice. So that would be my second tip.
I'm going to chime in here.
Yes, tell me.
I think for a small space, outdoor kitchen, I think the bar cart is the way to go. So either a bar cart that you set up with drinks and snacks if you're entertaining, or the bar cart style that you have like a pizza oven or a small barbecue on.
Yes.
I'm thinking if it's the boozy bar cart, you can mix the drink and then you can tell your guests, go and pick the herbs you want to garnish. So it's interactive.
I love that so much. The bar cart is a great idea because you can wheel it in and you can wheel it out. So it's great. It doesn't need to live out in the small space. I love that so much. And also going on that idea, so we're going to add in a fourth thing.
Okay, great.
It'd be great to have a cart that had sort of a small grill. I don't know if you've ever come across a hibachi grill. It's a Japanese grill. Yeah. It's very small. It's only about sort of yay big. And you can get charcoal and you can do skewers and little lamb chops and things. So if you've got people outside having a drink, you can put a few things on your hibachi grill, like picking the herbs. Yeah, that's a really nice way to entertain. And it doesn't take up space. So I would recommend a hibachi.
And it's renter friendly.
It is renter friendly. You can take it with you when you go. You're not making any mess. Yeah, it's great.
All the hot tips here. Margie, hope that helps.
Love that.
One of the loveliest things about this conversation is the idea that taste can be inherited, borrowed, argued over, and slowly absorbed. Karlie talks about James's art collection as something she married into in a way, but also something that became part of how their family marks time. And maybe that's what the best homes do. They hold the evidence of who we were when we found something, bought something, cooked something, moved somewhere, or decided just to stay. Karlie, we met when we were both working on Real Living, so I thought this was a really good question to ask you. Is there a design crime that has been committed all over Australia that you wish we could fix?
Do you know what? At the moment, this could be quite controversial because I know quite a lot of people still love it.
Go there.
Yeah, I can't see another, and I don't know how to properly pronounce it. Is it boucle?
Oh, boucle.
I can't stand it anymore. I'm sorry. I can't see another boucle thing. And after it's used for a small amount of time, it just doesn't look very good. It's very worn.
Someone described recently what the look of heavily used worn boucle looks like. And it looks like the manky dog towel that's been washed and put through the dryer. It's still not quite, like, it's still a bit dingy, and
yeah,
the pile is matted. And
I know.
So there you go, washed, tumble-dried dog towel.
Yes, or it's that jumper that is just that cheap jumper that gets peels and doesn't look good after one wear. So yeah, no, I'm avoiding anything that's boucle at the moment, and I think everybody else should. I feel like it was just one of those things that was very popular and it's just going to go out very quickly. So sorry if you own something boucle.
What about in your own home? Because you said you have been renovating. Have you committed any design crimes in your own place?
Oh, yes, we have. I'm not a saint on the design crimes. Styling and designing a home, you have all these wonderful ideas, but when it comes down to it, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to nail your look. And of course, things change over time as well, naturally, as you age and your family ages and you go through the seasons. But only last week or the week before, we painted our washroom, very small, just a toilet on its own. And we thought, you know what, this would be beautiful as a really soft butter yellow, because the tiles are a bit older, that sort of retro tone on the floor. So I thought the butter yellow would look really nice in here, soft, and I'll get a window covering for the window. Anyway, we were painting at night and we thought, oh, this looks quite bright. It's probably brighter than we thought. And then we did another coat. We woke up in the morning and, yeah, it was definitely not a butter yellow. It was more of a Mexican restaurant toilet yellow. And we walk in there in the morning and think, oh, no, what have we done? It's so bright.
Oh, my God.
It's not at all like the swatch. And that's the issue. We didn't try it out before. We just jumped straight in and did it. And
Karlie.
I know, and there's no fixing it. There's no, it's okay. No, it's terrible. It's a really, really terrible colour. So
wouldn't want to go in there with a hangover in the morning.
Oh, no. And you know what? It's because it's the solo toilet. James often goes in there in the mornings and he comes out every morning going, God, that's just a hideous colour. What have we done? So we'll be repainting it. But what do you feel is a great colour for a small room like that? Would you go darker?
I do love the dark colours. And I mean, that is a design rule. If there's a small space, particularly that doesn't get much natural light, then don't bother trying to brighten it up. Yellow.
Yeah.
Just go for something dark and moody. And I think it could be, if you've got, what colour are the retro tiles? Are they like a terracotta or?
They're a cream.
See, with that, you could go like a burgundy. It's, that is such a strong colour at the moment. And I don't mind saying at the moment because it is just paint. You can paint over it when you get sick of it.
Yeah.
And I would even paint the ceiling.
Yes, we did do the ceiling as well.
Oh, you did? Oh, my God. That's a yellow attack.
It's yes. We got it right. Again, the theory was right, but the execution not so right. But I thought burgundy would be a really nice colour, or a beautiful deep green, like a forest, sort of like a British green or something, dark green would be nice.
Also really complementary to cream.
Exactly. Okay. Well, TBC, we'll get back to you on that.
I'll be looking out for a picture of your loo on Instagram.
I will post it, and I would love some feedback before and after.
So this is in a way homemaking, and something we talk about a lot at Home Beautiful and with our guests at the Edit is, what does it mean to be a homemaker now? We all know the traditional sense of a homemaker, but in this day and age, what does homemaker mean to you?
For me, a homemaker is creating a space of calm and feeling just completely at home in your own home and not feeling like you need to be on show. Being a homemaker is creating a space that reflects your personal style, yes, and also that feels like it's you in a home. And you can walk into every day and go, and just feel comfortable and calm. It's, I think, colors and textures and the smell of something cooking in the oven can make you instantly feel like you're calm in what, might have been a chaotic day or a chaotic moment. So for me, a homemaker is about creating that sense of, the sense of feeling at peace.
Does cooking make you feel at peace?
It sure does. Honestly, it's funny because I also do some recipe developing, and it's something that I've done for a long time. And
most recently seen in Home Beautiful magazine and
exactly.
on homebeautiful.com.au.
Yes, exactly. So I love recipe developing, and I'm always trying out new things in the kitchen. And one of the things that people say to me is, oh my gosh, I couldn't think about cooking dinner after a long day, and it's too stressful, and cooking for me is not enjoyable. But for me, it really is. And I find peace in cooking. I find peace in the kitchen. And, when I'm at my most stressed, I just go straight to the kitchen and I take something out of the fridge and I make it, because I just think, the process of chopping up a vegetable or putting something in the oven, roasting a chicken, it brings you right back to the basics, I think. And for me, it's something I can control right then and right there.
That's so interesting what you say about the control, because as you know, I'm the same. If things are feeling a bit chaotic, I like to control something. It can be anything. It can be sorting out a sock drawer. It can be controlling by trimming a hedge and making it neat and tidy.
Some might say control freak.
I'm okay with that. But for so many people, I think control, it's a dirty word, but it doesn't have to be. It means putting structures in place to ease the chaos.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. We're quite similar in that regard. I think it's just the small things, trying to create that calm and, control. It makes me feel better.
How do you shop? How do you fill your fridge?
We go to the farmers market once or twice a week. We're very lucky up here. There's a farmers market on pretty much every day in different directions. So I know, again, that's a luxury that I know a lot of people who live in metropolitan areas cannot, do not have access to all the time. So I ideally like to do that first, and then everything else that we don't have, your day-to-day stuff, we just try and limit it to a supermarket shop, but once a week or once a fortnight.
Karlie, the last question I want to ask you, which I ask everyone, is, to you, what makes a home beautiful?
I think going back on what I said before about a calm space that oozes with personality and the vibe of the people who live there. And as long as it reflects the person who lives there, then I think it's beautiful. I don't think it needs to be cookie cutter, straight out of a magazine. Although I would love my home to look like it does homes look in a magazine. I've worked in the industry. I get to look at beautiful homes all the time, and I'm very envious of people who have homes who look like that. But I think ultimately life gets in the way a lot of the time, and things are chaotic and things can be messy, but that's also beautiful. So it's embracing all of that, and it's embracing the mess and embracing the chaos, but also finding the calm in between all of that. I think that's what makes home beautiful.
I think that's lovely. That's beautiful.
Great. You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Karlie, thanks for joining me on The Edit. It's a new environment for us. It's been so nice chatting with you.
Thank you so much for asking me to come on. I absolutely love it and I adore it, and I'm an avid listener. Thank you.
Karlie, my friend, thank you so much for inviting us into your home, your kitchen, your art collection, and your marketplace habits. I love that idea that a beautiful home doesn't have to be perfect. It can be full of food, kids, dogs, secondhand finds, too much art, and people gathering around while something cooks. Thank you for joining us on the Edit from Home Beautiful. Follow or subscribe for more conversations with people who make homes feel personal, beautiful, and real. And we'll see you next time.
This is an R Media podcast.